To navigate the current crisis, you need three things. The first one's obvious. You need to virtualize your practice, which means that you need to stand up a telehealth tool and you need an online dispensary. Both are simply critical tools to any practice that's trying to virtualize itself. The second requires that we be a bit more inventive, and it requires that we create, design, implement, and deliver relevant solutions that are timely and speak directly to the crisis. One of the things I've noticed is that a number of practices are sort of communicating and carrying on, or attempting to, in a way that kind of ignores the obvious thing going on all around us. And the truth is that functional, integrative, naturopathic practitioners have an enormous amount of value to create and add. And we just need to go ahead and do the work of building programs that speak directly to the crisis at hand. The third thing is, once this is done, we need to simply announce it to the public, to the community around us, to employers. This is sometimes the scary part, but in this particular moment in time, I actually think that the value that these practitioners like you have to create is something that's going to be particularly attention getting. So doing the work of communication is going to be a big deal. Now, in this crisis, it became clear that it was going to sort of wash up on our shores and wreak havoc on practices and threaten the viability of some. A group of expert collaborators and I got together and set out to create a resource that we hoped would be free, for all practices to use to essentially accomplish these three things. And as of now, that site is available, ready for you to use at virtualpractices.org. All of these resources are there for your benefit. To be clear, this is not a site that is about simply standing up a telehealth practice. That topic has been addressed really well by a number of others ahead of us, and frankly is addressed beautifully right here at Emerson's Pivot Your Practice sort of content area. Really, really well done. What we focused on was that second item, which is the value proposition that speaks to this particular moment and this particular crisis. And thinking about how do we create the tools and the guidance for practitioners to create, package, price, bill for, assist patients in getting reimbursement for services that directly address the crisis at hand. And that's what we've created. These tools don't exist anywhere else, certainly not to my knowledge. And thanks to the support of companies like Emerson, literally everything on virtualpractices.org is free for you to use. Absolutely nothing there will cost you any money. The fact of the matter is, and this is something that we've got to wrap our minds around, that functional, integrative, naturopathic practitioners have the perfect training at the perfect time to establish and create and deliver real value in this very strange moment that we exist in right now. There are some logistical hurdles to overcome, no question about that. And so there's work to be done. But at the end of the day, this virus has profoundly reinforced the message and the value proposition of root cause medicine in a way that can and absolutely should open new doors of opportunity if we allow it to. The message of the liability of chronic disease, even well-managed chronic disease, versus a chronic disease that is reversed, which has been really the calling card of root cause medicine practitioners for a number of years. That message of the difference between a well-managed and a reversed chronic disease has absolutely been driven home by recent circumstances. And I think it absolutely is going to set the stage for new and very exciting opportunities for years and years to come. So take advantage of these resources on virtualpractices.org and watch for the ways that we work with Emerson to make them even more powerful as we stitch them and integrate them into the tools that you already have at your disposal with Emerson and Elevate.